Imagine waking up every single day only to find that yesterday never ended. The same people, the same conversations, the same chilling feeling that you're trapped in something. Unbreakable. This is the story of Emma, a woman who discovered that her life was caught in a terrifying time loop, and something darker was watching from the shadows. It all started on a rainy Thursday morning in the small town of Ravenswood. Emma, a graphic designer in her late 20s, lived alone in a modest apartment above an old bookstore. The town was quiet, almost too quiet, with fog rolling in thick over the cobblestone streets, muffling the sounds and twisting familiar places into eerie, ghostly versions of themselves. That morning, Emma woke up to the shrill ring of her alarm clock. She stretched and glanced at the calendar taped to her wall. October 12th. She got ready for work, grabbed her umbrella, and stepped outside into the damp chill. As she walked to the bus stop, she noticed something strange. The same old man she passed every day was standing in the exact same spot, staring at a broken street lamp that flickered ominously. Emma dismissed it as just another gloomy day and boarded the bus. But as she sat down, she overheard two women whispering about a mysterious disappearance in town, mentioning a name she'd never heard before. Lily. The bus stopped at her usual spot, and Emma got off, heading toward her office. The day unfolded like any other, but when she glanced at her watch, she realized it was only 9 a.m., but it should have been 5 p.m. She looked around, confused. The bustling office was empty, the computers were off, and the silence was suffocating. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. A text message from an unknown number. "You're late. Again." Emma's heart pounded. She tried calling her best friend, Mark, but the call wouldn't connect. The same strange feeling crept over her, the sensation that something was terribly wrong. She rushed outside, only to find the streets eerily deserted, as if time had frozen. Then, a flash. The world blurred and shifted. When Emma opened her eyes, she was back in her bedroom. The calendar on the wall showed October 12th. She blinked, realizing she had just relived the same morning again. Panicked, Emma tried everything to break free, changing her routine, avoiding the street lamp, ignoring the old man. But no matter what she did, the day reset, trapping her in an endless loop. Determined to understand, Emma began to investigate the old man. She discovered he was called Mr. Graves, the town's former librarian who had vanished mysteriously decades ago. Rumors said he had dabbled in forbidden knowledge, trying to manipulate time itself. One evening, as Emma wandered the foggy streets, she found herself drawn to the old bookstore beneath her apartment. Inside, amidst dusty shelves, she uncovered a hidden journal belonging to Mr. Graves. The pages described a parallel universe, a shadow realm that mirrors our own, but twists reality into nightmares. The journal warned of a fracture between worlds, a breach that could trap souls in endless loops, unable to move on. Emma realized she wasn't just stuck in time. She was caught between realities. Her reflection in the cracked mirror shifted, showing a distorted version of herself with hollow eyes. Suddenly, a whisper echoed in the room. "Break the cycle, or become part of the shadow." Emma faced a terrifying choice: remain trapped, doomed to relive the day forever, or step through the dark portal Mr. Graves had described, into the unknown parallel universe where time had no meaning. Summoning her courage, Emma opened the ancient book to a page detailing a ritual to cross over. The room darkened as she chanted the incantation. A swirling vortex appeared, pulling her in. She landed in a twisted version of Ravenswood, streets cracked and overgrown, buildings warped like reflections in shattered glass. Shadows moved with intent, whispering secrets she couldn't understand. Emma wandered, searching for a way back, but each step plunged her deeper into the eerie silence. She found a figure waiting. A shadowy version of Mr. Graves, eyes glowing with unnatural light. He spoke. "You can escape, but at a cost. Trade your memories, your identity, or be lost forever." Emma hesitated. The thought of losing who she was terrified her, but the endless loop was a prison. With a trembling voice, she chose to sacrifice her memories. Light engulfed her, and she awoke. This time, it was truly October 13th. The sun shone brightly. The streets buzzed with life, and the calendar on her wall confirmed a new day. But something was different. Emma looked in the mirror and saw a stranger staring back. Her past was a foggy void, and the eerie feeling lingered just beneath the surface. Had she truly escaped the loop? Or was she now a shadow in a new universe, forever wandering between realities? The clock ticks, the loop waits, and somewhere in the shadows, Mr. Graves watches. Days passed, or perhaps they were hours. Time had lost meaning to Emma. She tried to piece together fragments of her forgotten past, but every memory was like a wisp of smoke slipping through her fingers. Friends' faces blurred. Familiar places felt alien, and her own reflection haunted her like a stranger trapped behind glass. Despite the loss, Emma felt an unyielding determination to reclaim her life. She returned to the old bookstore, hoping to find answers among the dusty tomes and forgotten relics. The shopkeeper, an enigmatic woman with eyes like storm clouds, seemed to recognize her, but with a knowing sadness. "You've crossed the threshold," the woman said softly, "but the shadows don't release their own easily." Emma searched the shelves and found another journal, this one newer, written in a hurried scrawl. It spoke of others who had slipped through the fracture, souls caught between worlds, some lost forever, others transformed into echoes of themselves. The journal hinted at a way to restore what was lost, a convergence point where the two realities overlapped, a place where the barrier was thinnest. Emma realized she had to find this nexus to regain her memories and perhaps truly break free. Armed with the journal and a flickering hope, Emma ventured into the shadowed streets outside. The air was thick with silence, broken only by distant whispers and the rustling of unseen creatures. Shapes flickered at the edge of her vision, shadows stretching and twisting like living things. As she navigated the warped landscape, Emma encountered others, lost souls like herself, some resigned to their fate, others desperate and dangerous. They warned her of the Shadow Realm's hunger, how it consumed identity and hope alike. One night, beneath a sky swirling with unnatural colors, Emma found the convergence point, a shattered clock tower at the town's edge, its hands frozen at midnight. The air hummed with energy, the veil between worlds almost transparent. She began the ritual described in the journal, calling upon the fractured energies to mend the breach. The ground trembled, shadows writhed, and a voice echoed in her mind, a plea, a warning. Suddenly, the shadowy Mr. Graves appeared once more. "You seek to undo what was done," he said, his voice a blend of sorrow and menace. "But every action has a consequence. Are you prepared to pay the price?" Emma nodded, her resolve unwavering. The ritual culminated in a blinding light that engulfed the tower. Memories surged back in fragments. Laughter with friends, the warmth of sunlight, the pain of loss. She felt herself whole again, yet changed, marked by the shadows she had faced. When the light faded, Emma was standing in her apartment. The calendar finally turned to October 13th. The town outside bustled normally. The eerie silence lifted. But the eyes of the old man, Mr. Graves, now looked at her with something unreadable. Perhaps respect, perhaps a promise. Emma knew the loop was broken, but the Shadow Realm's echo lingered in her soul. She had crossed boundaries few dared, and though free, she was forever connected to the thin veil between worlds. Her life would never be the same. But Emma was ready to face whatever came next, armed with newfound strength and an unshakable courage. And somewhere in the depths of Ravenswood's shadows, the clock awaited its next tick, the loop's whisper never far behind.